afternoon and welcome to the continuation of the 127th Commencement of Temple University. Please be seated. Before we begin today's program, I unfortunately have to make a sad announcement. As many of you may already know, Louis Katz, Temple alum, member of the Temple University Board of Trustees, chairman of the Temple Educational Support Services Board of Directors, the parent entity of TUJ, and prominent Philadelphia business leader and philanthropist, died this past Sunday. President Theobald and Provost Hai Lung Dai, both of whom were to attend this ceremony, have remained in Philadelphia to pay their respects and give tribute to Mr. Katz. Please note that some of the roles listed in today's program have therefore been revised. But today, we are here to celebrate your achievements. Congratulations. You have studied hard and made many sacrifices in order to achieve your academic goals. Today is your day, so please take this opportunity to reflect on your achievements. This is the continuation of the 127th commencement of Temple University. It started in Philadelphia on May 14, when over 9,000 graduates received their degrees, and it continues here today in Tokyo, with 207 receiving their degrees. To help get us all in the Temple graduation spirit, here's a brief video with highlights from the main campus ceremony.
Temple University's 127th annual commencement. Temple's class of 2014 includes graduates from 77 different countries, from 46 states and the District of Columbia, and from 55 of Pennsylvania's 67 counties.
It is a Temple University tradition for us to send greetings to the graduates at Temple University, Japan, to be recorded today and shared at their commencement ceremony in a few weeks. So please join me in continuing this tradition, repeating after me a big Temple alumni hello in Japanese. Konnichiwa, Temple University, Japan. And Konnichiwa, graduates. Thank you. You may be seated.
We will now confer the degrees in course, and salute each school en masse.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Musical Arts within the Boyer College of Music and Dance please rise? Bachelor of Architecture, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science.
Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, an Educational Specialist, Master of Education, and the Master of Science, please rise.
Degree of Doctor of Philosophy, please rise. Degree of Master of Science. Degree of Bachelor of Science, please rise.
Degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, and Doctor of Physical Therapy, please rise. For the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Social Work, please rise.
For the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science within the College of Liberal Arts, please stand.
I now declare the 127th commencement of Temple University in recess until June 8, 2014 in Tokyo, Japan. Congratulations and our best wishes to all of you.
And so, we continue the commencement. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Robert Nodden. Mr. Nodden is President and Chief Executive Officer of AIG Japan and a member of the TUJ Board of Overseers. Please join me in giving Mr. Nodden a warm and enthusiastic welcome to TUJ. Just a note, Mr. Nodden has to catch a plane to Singapore immediately after his speech, so he will be leaving as soon as he gives his remarks. Roberts?
Thank you, Bruce. Dean Stronach, distinguished guests, Chairperson Kaneko-san, fellow Board of Overseer members, parents, friends, and graduating students. Omedetou gozaimasu. Today we're here to celebrate your success, but honestly, when you started this college journey, this educational journey, this lifetime journey, were you really able to envision this event today? If your answer is yes, I would wager that you're probably not being terribly honest with each other or with yourselves. I know when I reached this point 31 years ago, I was surprised and amazed at the journey I went through to get to this day. So let's take just a moment to reflect a bit on how we all got here today. Some of you here today have come from thousands of miles away, some from a few blocks away. Some of you came from Japanese households. Some of you came from households in Japan, but your background is not as a Nihonjin. And some of you came from small households in cities and countries across the globe. In the last 4 years, you've been a part of a Japan that has experienced many dramatic things politically, economically, demographically, catastrophically, and I also believe quite constructively. You, along with all of us here on this stage today, have ridden a dramatic roller coaster of emotion, energy, and change since you began your TUJ journey a few years ago. So was there anything unique or special about being a TUJ student through this journey? I would say very definitively the answer is yes. As the CEO of one of the largest financial services companies in Japan, as a member of the TUJ Board of Overseers, as a member of the U.S.-Japan Bridging Foundation, as a father of a college son, with unfortunately 2 more to follow soon, and a many-year resident of Tokyo, and lastly, 31 years ago, a college exchange student here in Japan, I think I'm qualified to say to you all, yes, you are very unique and different from your Japanese counterparts and from your US counterparts. Liberal arts Western style is a very different thing than a normal university education in Japan. Liberal arts at TUJ in Tokyo is a very different thing from a normal domestic US university education. You've learned the very critical skill of challenging and questioning the world around you, both inside and outside of the classroom. You've learned not to accept what you read or hear or see at face value without looking at the background and the context that surrounds the subject at hand. You've hopefully learned how to challenge in constructive and collaborative ways. You've done that in a cultural and physical environment your Japanese and US equivalents have not been exposed to. You've learned the immeasurable skill in a variety of ways to ask the simple but very intimidating question, why? Why? For the moms and dads sitting here today, you may have dreaded that question 17, 18, 19 years ago. I know my mother says that I used to spook her endlessly with questions like, Mom, why is the sky blue? Why does the wind blow sometimes and not blow at other times? Why does the lightning zigzag across the sky when it streaks to the ground? I'm sure all of the parents in the room have thousands of examples of their own why questions that stimulated and produced this group of graduates today. So let's come back to the reasons why we're all here today, and let me present you with your first postgraduate why. Why is that skill so important today? As you graduates all know better than I do, the world is an incredibly small place today. It is a very different place today than when I went to school and did my exchange program in Japan 31 years ago. When I was in Osaka, Japan in 1982, the yen to dollar exchange rate was 270 yen to the US dollar. The marriage and birth rate was moving along like all industrialized nations. Japan had the world's second largest economy and was rapidly approaching the first, the United States. The Chinese economy virtually did not exist to the outside world. And Japan was the largest producer of exchange students studying in the United States of any nation in Asia. Today, none of that is true. The exchange rate hovers around 100 yen to the dollar. Marriage rates have plummeted, as have the birth rates. More people die in Japan every day today than are born. China's economy is now the second largest in the world. And sadly, Japan is about to slip into fourth place of Asian nations in sending students to study abroad. On that point in particular, I commend you, as you are exactly the opposite of that retreating trend in Japan. You are genuinely different. You chose to challenge yourself to succeed in Japan through a Western-oriented education process. You lived a local life every day in every way except how you learned and developed your analytical thought processes. You are very different than any other Japanese graduates today. Those students may have worked extremely hard to get into the right university, but on the whole, once they got in, they didn't work very hard. Unfortunately for them, that education did not produce a graduate excitedly seeking a challenge or eager to probe the world with an arsenal of why? Why? In a recent new employee entrance poll of fresh graduates in Japan, New Nihonjin employees recorded the lowest interest ever in working outside of Japan. They aren't attracted to that idea. They don't see the value in working overseas. They don't want the challenge of working in an international environment. Frankly, they're intimidated by it. You, on the other hand, had to continually challenge yourself and those around you while you engaged in a dialogue and a collaborative process of learning. You didn't get here today by listening and memorizing. Your future will not be about repeating what you've been taught to memorize. It will be all about looking for the next new thing, the next different experience, and the confidence to know that you are equipped to handle it. That positions you today for a very different set of opportunities. It has presented you with the chance to make a difference tomorrow in ways a local graduate is not well equipped. You succeeded in mastering the art of why. Why? Why? In a society that has never placed a strong emphasis on nonconformity. Diversity of thought, diversity of experience, diversity of behaviors. This country is crying out for it. The Abe government is trying in a variety of very visible ways to stimulate that diversity. And yet it's not the traditional way students have been educated to think, and it's certainly not the way local company employees have been suggested and requested to behave. You, I'm all sure, have heard the phrase in Japan, and moms and dads, please listen up. The peg that sticks up is hammered down. Well, why? Why? Why is the peg that sticks up? Why is essentially the foundation of a fundamental challenge. Why can only be answered when truly questioning and frequently breaking with tradition. You represent and reflect why. You can and you must be the difference in thought, in experience, and behavior in this country and in this world that desperately is looking for that. So we congratulate you today because you have accomplished something truly unique. You have genuinely taken a different educational journey. You are unquestionably different than a Japanese university graduate. You are also certainly different from any U.S. school's domestic liberal arts program, undergraduate or graduate. The one thing you must not do from today forward is to avoid pressing all the buttons that ask the question, why? 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 TUJ prepared you to do that. Graduating from TUJ today required that you do it. Now Japan and the rest of the world need you to live it each and every day from this day forward. So good luck, good hunting, thank you, and once again, omedetou gozaimasu.
Thank you, Bob, and have a great flight. We are pleased to have with us today two distinguished guests to present salutes to our students. For our first salute today, we are privileged to have with us Stephen S. Maloney, Minister Counselor for Consular Affairs, Consul General with the U.S. Embassy, Tokyo. Over the years, TUJ has enjoyed consistent and valuable support from various agencies of the U.S. Embassy. Please show our appreciation by giving Mr. Maloney a great TUJ welcome. Stephen?
Thank you, Dean Stronach. Mr. Moyer, Mr. Del Giorno, distinguished faculty, family and friends, and of course, graduates of 2014. I'll start by saying to you that I do not plan to be as eloquent nor as long in speaking as the speaker as the speaker before me. I came here to briefly give you the embassy's greetings, which are pretty simple. Temple is a big producer of American graduate students, as you well know. Temple is important to the U.S. Embassy. We have a good relationship with Temple, and we know that you are the types of graduates who take on jobs in the international business community and also might take on jobs in diplomacy. So we're interested in you in a parochial sense, but we're also interested in what you can do for Japan and the United States. Temple is obviously a well-respected university in both the U.S. and Japan. In short, my message to you today is omedetou gozaimasu. That is the simple of it. But I want to say a couple more things. On behalf of the U.S. Embassy, I want you to know that we admire Temple's commitment to the international community, and we admire Temple's commitment to Japan. Clearly, the relationship between the U.S. and Japan is critical to Asia's future. You graduates already have the training and perspective necessary to play an important role and to decide what mark your class will make on the 21st century. This strikes me as a huge opportunity, and I hope you feel the same way. You will also, of course, make your personal way through the next decade and the decades after, and you'll make many choices and decisions in the process. I have been a diplomat for 30 years, and I've been a husband, brother, father, and friend for longer than that. You can guess how old I am by that statement, probably. In my adult life, I've received lots of bad advice, and to be honest with you, one of the things I want to tell you is when you get bad advice, ignore it. I did that a lot. But from my mother and a couple of others, I've gotten some good advice, and I'm going to share about 4 suggestions with you that I got, mostly from my mother, actually. And these ideas were very simple, but they were life-changing, one way or the other. They're very basic things that make my life better and more meaningful. So I want to share them with you. There are 4 of them. First, and this is really for the parents, most important, be grateful to your parents and your family. Without the people that are in the back there, you guys wouldn't be in the front. A lot of you got here because of them, and you should be grateful about that. On the same topic, I want to tell you something my mother told me when I was about 18. She said, gratitude is always in fashion. Never does it go out of fashion. Gratitude is always attractive to an employer, to a mother-in-law, to a prospective boyfriend and girlfriend. That means at work as well as at home. So she told me something that I thought was very interesting, even at 19. She said, be a thanker, not a complainer. And that's very important, so I'm going to repeat it. This is something if you do this at work and you do it at home, you're going to be a star. Be a thanker, not a complainer. If you do, you'll have more friends, you'll get more job offers, and you'll be more popular. Third, this is also important, do something you enjoy. If you are not satisfied with your work, ask for a do-over. Does the word do-over mean something to you guys? Ask for a do-over. Don't spend your life doing someone else's bidding or living someone else's dream. If you do, it will generally turn out badly. Lead your own life. And fourth, and last, I urge you to do something that helps someone else. This is important because you spent all this time trying to get this degree and you've been rushing and pushing classes and projects and papers together. But in the next couple of years, do something that helps someone. That something doesn't have to be at work. It could be in your community. It could be somewhere else. But I have noticed all through my life that people seem happier if they have given something or taught something to their neighbors or others. So, sometime in your life, be a teacher, be a coach, be a counselor, be a volunteer. The people who do those things, who give their time and energy to others, always seem happier and seem to be leading more meaningful lives. You have lots of possibilities in front of you. I know that you are looking for jobs or you are about to begin one or the other. It should be an exciting time for you. I hope that at least a few of you will consider, I know a lot of you have done international business, I hope a few of you will consider a career in diplomacy. I was a recruiter for the State Department, so I have to give you a recruiting pitch, and that is any of you who would like to start looking at the State Department and the Foreign Service's career possibilities, come see me after the ceremony, please. Now, enough advice. It is a wonderful day for each of you. Enjoy your accomplishments. As Dean Stronach said, you should enjoy what you've done and be thinking about all you've accomplished today. This is a big day. And again, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. The presenter of our second salute has traveled from Philadelphia to be with us today. Tillman Moyer, Associate Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Temple University, has worked in the Office of Institutional Advancement for 6 years. We have known him here at TUJ now for several years. He's a great friend. So, Tillman, welcome.
Class of 2014, let me be one of the first of many to say congratulations. You and your families and friends have much to celebrate today because you are the newest Temple, will be the newest Temple graduates. You're going to join 300,000 fellow alumni from around the world. I bring you greetings too from main campus, including from the president of the university, Dr. Neil Theobald. And as the dean mentioned, the president greatly regrets not being here today. A week ago, the university family lost one of our most outstanding graduates in a tragic plane crash. Mr. Lewis Katz was a member of our board of trustees, was a trusted counselor to many, and he loved our alma mater. Mr. Katz was deeply committed to our efforts here in Japan, and he would be so very proud of you. Last month, something that wasn't in the video that opened the ceremony today, Mr. Katz delivered the commencement address at graduation on main campus. And I thought I'd like to share a few of his words from that address. I think they best sum up what it means to be Temple made, regardless if you study, live, and graduate here in Japan or in Philadelphia. Here are his words. Life, in my view, is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to have as much fun as you can conjure up. You may not come up with the cure for cancer. You may not start up a large internet company. But what you can do is you can make every effort in your life to make a difference. Remember, success is not just about material things. Watch and study people you admire. So what is all of this about? Work matters, but family matters more. Don't sell your soul to the workforce. Make time for those who need you and for causes you believe in, and hold on to these 4 things. Interesting, that's also 4 things. Hope, it keeps us going. Work, it gives us life meaning. Time, don't give it away to fools because you never get it back. Love, without love, what's the point of all of this? Mr. Katz concluded his remarks with what he considered his mantra, life advice from a great American basketball coach, John Wooden. You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. I knew Mr. Katz quite well, and I can assure you that this is exactly how he lived his life. I meet with graduates from all over the United States, and when I tell them about our program here at TUJ, they beam with pride, knowing that the Temple family reaches around the world. I cannot express how much you, our newest graduates, mean to the university. Again, congratulations. I wish all the best to you as you begin the next phase of your lives. Be proud of your Temple degree, because I assure you, Temple University is very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tillman. Before we recognize this year's Undergraduate Teacher of the Year, I would like to take a moment to recognize the entire faculty. First and foremost, a university is its faculty, and TUJ is no exception. I am proud to call you my colleagues. Faculty, please rise to be recognized. Thank you. This year, for the 13th time, we are presenting an Undergraduate Teacher of the Year award. The recipient of this year's award has been selected by the students. I would therefore like to ask Jonathan Wu, Interim Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, to come to the podium to announce the results. Jonathan?
Students were polled as to who should be designated the Undergraduate Teacher of the Year. Votes were taken over a comprehensive list of all undergraduate teachers who had taught 3 or more courses in the past year. These data were then accumulated or tabulated over the entire year, In addition to a certificate, the Teacher of the Year award includes a cash prize of 100,000 yen. The very deserving recipient of this year's award is, dramatic pause, oh, that's stage direction. Haiti Cahey. Haiti Cahey. And I don't really
Well, I'm asked to give a few words. Well, thank you very much. I am surprised. I teach economics, and I know that most of you have been tortured by me at some point in time. I'm pretty sure, right, that I was pretty sure that I will never get this prize because the econ department is not so big, although we teach basically everybody a bit of econ. But I know that's always very tough. However, I'm very happy, and I want to thank you very much, and I really hope that you enjoyed the classes. We're going to keep on torturing the ones after you, so don't worry. Thank you very much.
I'm going to say something off script for just one moment, which is, Hadi is great. All of our faculty are great, but what's really important, I think, is that, Hadi comes from Lebanon. He comes from Beirut. So not only do we have a tremendously international student body, we also have a tremendously international faculty. And it's that diversity in our student body and also in our faculty that makes TUJ what it is. I think that's just absolutely fantastic. And Hadi, congratulations. Now, I will now call upon some of our outstanding graduates to represent their peers in the graduating class of 2014. First, I am pleased to introduce Joel Rong Ante. Joel graduated summa cum laude in the fall of 2013 after majoring in international business studies. He had a cumulative GPA of 3.93, and he is originally from Singapore. Joel?
Thank you. Whew, big crowd today. So good afternoon, everybody, and it is my pleasure and a great honor to be up here representing the graduating cohort of the undergraduate program. Please allow me a few minutes to say some words on behalf of the cohort. So time flies by so quickly, doesn't it? It seemed just like yesterday that I was writing papers for my capstone class in the study room and then running down to the second floor to grab a can of coffee right before class. I have fond memories of my student life, and I'm sure many of us share similar experiences. I recall messaging my friends on Facebook at 3 or 4 in the morning and asking them something along the lines of, hey, how many pages you got already? Or, hey, how many PowerPoint slides you got? So the strict policy regarding deadlines in TUJ sure struck terror in our hearts, didn't it? Of course, I also have to give Coffee and Red Bull some credit too for powering us through those grueling all-nighters. And I believe that most of us are either doing job hunting now or have already received an offer. For myself, I am doing the former. Now, a question I usually get when filling in those job applications is, what makes you different from graduates from other schools? Which basically translates to, what is your value proposition? So, now the first time I tried to answer the question, I want to talk about how the TUJ experience is a unique and international one. An experience that provides a quality American education in Japan. Now, I was feeling somewhat unsatisfied with my initial answer. I sat down and thought about it further. I thought about what differentiates us from the other universities in Japan, And I settled on this one factor which I'm sure we all are very familiar with, our size. We know that TUJ is a small school, and many of us have wished that we had a bigger campus and student population. However, in retrospect, I'm pretty thankful for this. Why? It is because of our small size that we have been able to see each other more often and to bond more closely with one another. It is because class sizes are small that we've been able to approach and interact with the professors more often. I recall pestering my professors before and after classes and always bombarding them with questions. They were always very patient, and I'm very thankful for that. It's also because we are small that we have been encouraged to participate more in class, to raise our hands more often, to make more embarrassing mistakes, and to learn more. And of course, it's because class sizes are small, it's pretty challenging to fall asleep in class because the professors can spot you pretty easily. Now, you may be wondering, how does this affect me or all of us? Well, I believe that the environment in TUJ has instilled in us a shared culture, a culture that makes us value questioning and of challenging ourselves, a culture that allows us to not be afraid of making mistakes and encourages critical thinking and learning. Even as we leave our college life behind, we will be carrying these values throughout our professional lives as well. This culture is our brand, the TUJ brand that will prove us to be valuable individuals, individuals that strive to succeed and outperform any expectations placed upon us. In my case, it has helped me during my finance internship, where my constant questioning and willingness to learn were appreciated by the staff and allowed me to get the most out of those 6 months in the office. Today marks the end of our college life and the beginning of a new chapter. Many opportunities and challenges lie ahead of us, and I believe we will face both success and failure. Whichever it is, I believe that the shared values and experiences gained during our time at TUJ will allow us to take it all in our stride and shine through in the end. So for the rest of the afternoon, let us get together once again and look back on the times we spent together during those 4 years and enjoy ourselves, for tomorrow we are no longer college students, but proud Temple graduates. So congratulations, and I wish everyone the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joel. Our second student speaker today is Asako Shinohara. Ms. Shinohara previously earned an LLB degree from Kyoto University in 2001. She has worked for Toray for 13 years and today receives her Master of Law degree. Asako?
Hello, everybody. It is my pleasure to stand in front of you, speaking on behalf of all the graduates of the TUJ LLM program. The first thing I would like to say is thank you to everybody who supported us during our days at TUJ. Fellow students who always encouraged and inspired each other. Our professors for stimulating us to think and question. Staff of TUJ who always offered us timely and supported advice, friends and colleagues, and most of all, our families. As most of us were part-time students with full-time jobs, we always struggled to arrange our work schedule to make it to class. Many of us were non-native speakers, which made preparing for class in the limited time we had available very difficult. However, we have made it here today to commencement because so many people have supported us. Like many of my fellow graduates, a long and winding road led me to this stage. My legal career started in 1997 when I decided to study international law in Kyoto University. At that time, my interest in law was very tenuous, since my dream was to work in international sales. In 2001, after graduating, I got a job as a salesperson for a Japanese global company that sold printing plates in Europe. The first watershed in my career came in 2007, when I was offered a position in the company's legal department. Though it was an attractive offer, which would give me a chance to work in company-wide projects and also broaden my field of activity, I hesitated to take the leap. To be honest, I was scared to leave my familiar life, abandon my original dreams, and jump into a completely new world. What ended my hesitation was a short email from my current boss. In his last sentence, he wrote words which I have never forgotten. "No one knows what she will get when a dice is cast. But why not at least roll the dice with your own hands?" His words gave me the courage to open the door to a different world. My new life as a legal advisor started smoothly, but soon my lack of legal knowledge became an obstacle, especially when I was involved in large international projects. Since I had almost no experience in common law, I strongly felt the need to study at a US law school. After considering many possibilities, I finally decided to study at TUJ, since it allowed me to keep my job, stay with my family, and learn US law at the same time. In applying to TUJ in May 2010, I submitted a personal statement which ended with the sentence, "I am just about to open a new door which is sure to lead to a new stage of my career." The world inside that door was full of ups and downs. As I mentioned, finding time to study while working a full-time job was not easy. I remember so many days when I carried my textbook and electronic dictionary everywhere so that I could study on the train, during lunchtime, and even when I was cooking for my family. While I recall those memories fondly now, at that time, of course, I felt like crying. I can still remember the shockwave I felt when I took my first class, Legal Research and Writing. Unlike in the familiar Japanese-style class, we were immediately required to actively speak up, which took courage for a typical shy Japanese student like me and many of my classmates. Although we may have taken a while, most of us not only got used to this style, but grew to enjoy it. Despite our initial hesitation, we learned that the experience of actively listening, thinking, questioning, and presenting our own thoughts during class would give us a chance not only to learn what we really needed to know, but also to think broadly and deeply. For me, this experience, which I could not have acquired unless I entered TUJ, has become a great asset upon which to draw, especially when I was working with my colleagues or discussing issues with my clients. My greatest difficulty came in 2012, when I had to take a one-year leave from school for pregnancy and childcare. Although that experience was the most wonderful in my life, it did become a hurdle in continuing my studies. When I started to consider returning to school, I did not have the confidence in my ability to wear 3 hats: studying, working, and taking care of my 6-month-old daughter. When I finally made up my mind to return, the strongest driving force was that I did not want to use my daughter as an excuse for giving up something in which I had been putting so much energy and effort in. But could I really do it? Of course I can. I thought of my fellow classmates who were working energetically, being good mothers at home, and who, surprisingly, were among the most active participants at school. Their positive attitude gave me the courage to face this big challenge and led me, as I am sure it did others too, to this stage today. Again, and above all, on behalf of all of us graduating, I want to say a very big thank you to our families, friends, colleagues, and everyone who has stood beside us during our years of study. Some who are with us now, and others who could not join us today. The goal we have achieved today is not only our personal achievement, it is something we must share with those who have supported us, probably with great patience and much sacrifice. I personally would like to share this achievement with my husband, Naohide, who has always been supporting me, taking care of our daughter Sae to let me make time to study, and always encouraging me when I felt discouraged. Without his help, I would never have been able to reach this goal. Now, once again, we are standing in front of the door, pausing first to say goodbye to our fruitful days at TUJ, while carrying through that door everything we earned and learned from the experience there. Knowledge of US law, personal connections with fellow students, the ability to listen carefully to others, and to actively and independently think, question, and discuss, and the courage to confront a big challenge in times of difficulty and stress. We do not know what the world on the other side of the door will be like, but one thing we know for sure. We have gotten over so many difficulties already, as our big achievement here today testifies. So, no matter what is waiting for us through that door, we can deal with it. Congratulations to all, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Asako. Next, I am pleased to introduce Wilson Steiger, who today is receiving a Master in Business Administration. Mr. Steiger came to Japan as a U.S. sailor on, very specifically, the 9th of April, 1994. And he immediately fell in love with Japan, and keeping a long tradition of American servicemen who have come to Japan, decided to make it his lifelong home. He left the United States Navy in 2003, but continues as a U.S. government employee. He is currently the Director of Operations for the U.S. Navy's Communications Station in Yokosuka. He and his wife, Miki, have two boys, Victor and Conrad, aged 8 and 10. Wilson?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Dean Stronach, professors, distinguished guests, fellow TUJ graduates. I'm humbled and honored to make this commencement speech today on behalf of TUJ's EMBA class of 2014. 2 years ago, 20 individuals started on a journey for personal growth. Each of us had our own reasons to seek an MBA. We all came from varied backgrounds and career fields. Our graduating class includes a controller, a SAP administrator, a marketing manager, a brand manager, magazine editor, IT managers, a lawyer, and even a CEO. There's 7 different countries represented in our graduating class. We come from China, Germany, Japan, the United States, Bulgaria, and the Philippines. Our class proves that TUJ is truly an international university. We all had our own lives that were placed on hold. Our hobbies, personal projects at work, barbecue parties, undokais, hapyokais, vacations, and weekends all took a back seat to our studies, homework, reading assignments, and collaboration calls. I, for one, have read more in the past 2 years than I have in the previous 38 years of my life. I won't even mention how much sleep we have all missed out on. A language teacher once told me that when I start dreaming in the language I was studying, that it was then that I truly knew the language. We have all had our nights where we would dream that we were trapped in Harvard case studies. So I guess we've truly learned how to be an MBA. I just thought they were nightmares. Today, those 20 individuals from 2 years ago will officially be recognized as MBAs. But what exactly is an MBA? A simple Google search will explain that an MBA is a master's degree in business administration. Essentially, an educational deep dive in the very core of business, featuring courses on accounting, finance, marketing, human resources, corporate strategy, and operations management. After completing 8 courses of our program, I came up with my own description of what an MBA is. Getting an MBA is not about me. Rather, it's a learning experience about us, a team, a group of leaders that work together to reach an above par experience. An MBA is not an individual's degree. It's a degree showing a personal ability to reach higher through affecting actions of those around us. Simply, an MBA is a leader, a follower, a team member, a manager, and a coach. 2 years ago, we were 20 individuals, but today we are MBAs. Ours was not an easy journey. We saw tragedies, injuries, hospitalizations, and unfortunately, even death of loved ones. We came together to see each other through our hard times, and we supported each other when needed. I could tell you that our journey is over, but that would be a terminological inexactitude. We've only scratched the surface of the possibilities in our future. To my cohorts, I congratulate you all today. We did it. It's no longer a dream. Today, it's a reality. We are MBAs. To the staff of TUJ, as a class, we say thank you. All of your hard work was noticed. We would like to especially say thank you to Dr. Mickey Mori, Jacqueline Assaw, Mieko Aoki, Sumiko Koga, and Yoko Sawahata. You always hold a special place in our hearts. To close, I'll borrow the words of my senpai, Glenn Argyle, class of 2013. I salute the class of 2014, and I look forward to continuing our friendship and camaraderie for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Wilson. The final student speaker, Ian Paul Leeming, represents the Graduate College of Education and today is receiving a Doctor of Philosophy in Education. Ian?
Dean, professors, distinguished guests, and fellow students, I feel very honored to be making this commencement speech today on behalf of the Temple University Japan Graduate School of Education. Why am I here today? The list of people to thank is endless, probably starts with my parents, but I would like to thank my wife, who supported me through all of this. She's not here today, she's at home in Osaka taking care of our 5-week-old daughter, but I couldn't have done it without her. Also, my other daughter, Eleanor, who often distracted me. Daddy, have you finished studying? And came in, distracted me from my studies, but actually helped me to relax, to get balance, and just to recharge, ready to go back and start typing again. I'd also like to thank Dr. Begler, who his dedication to the course, the Graduate School of Education, is incredible. His energy that he and the amount that he puts into it really is amazing. And also my supervisor, Dr. Kozaki, who tirelessly supervised my dissertation, always patient. And I think without her, I would probably be graduating in the class of 2020. So thank you to her. What did I learn in my 6 years at TUJ? The first thing that I learned was never take a break. In one of my first classes at TUJ, Dr. Begler told us, just keep going, always move forward. After the coursework finishes, don't take a break, even if it's only 10 minutes reading on the train, wherever you can, just keep going, wherever possible. Of course, sometimes life throws obstacles in our way and we can't keep going, but he did kindly give me permission to visit my family in the UK for a couple of weeks one summer. But basically, this was the principle that helped me to finish and to be here today. Writing a dissertation is a mammoth task, 450 pages, I think, in the end. And if you consider the final product, you may think that it's impossible, but that 10 to 20 minutes every day over 5 years really does add up. It's the same, I think, in principle as learning Japanese. I studied Japanese 5 years very intensively when I came to Japan, passed the proficiency test I wanted to pass, and I thought I would just take a short break from study. My Japanese has improved a little since then, but that break started 9 years ago. I sometimes see Pakkun on TV and think about dusting off my kanji book, but I'm still on a break. So never take a break, keep going. Another thing I learned at TUJ was the importance of community. Attending lectures every Friday and Saturday for almost 3 years was really tough. And in some ways, my cohort couldn't wait for the classes to finish. But it was also incredibly stimulating, I'm sure, for the other graduates as well. Every weekend, I was able to share ideas, to think, to develop, to grow, and all within a community that was supportive. TUJ really is a community. Although weekly attendance was tough, it was stimulating, rewarding, and inspiring. I genuinely miss the exchange of ideas and debate that accompanied every class, and that still occur whenever TUJ graduates and current students get together. TUJ Graduate School of Education had a research colloquium in Osaka this February, and it sums up what's great about the program. Over 2 days, graduates and current students of the doctoral and master's programs met and shared ideas through discussions and presentations. It was actually great to spend a weekend at Temple again. Part of being in this community that helped me was a friendly rivalry with my fellow graduate today, Max. After the courses had finished, we continued to chat almost weekly on each other's progress, share ideas. I'd be like, oh no, he started chapter 4, I need to up the pace. Oh great, Max is on holiday with his family in Hawaii, I can slow down maybe a little. Sorry I beat you to the dissertation defense by a week, Max. No hard feelings, I hope. And you did get a vacation in Hawaii, so fair enough. Strangely, after 6 years of dreaming of finishing the PhD program, when I finished, I felt a little deflated. It's done, but what should I do now? That's when I realized that this is the beginning. Whether it be in business, in academia, this is the starting point for us all. We've worked hard to get where we are today, but this is the start. From here is where we can really make our mark and where the story will continue. I look forward to the rest of the journey, and I'm sure that TUJ and the community of TESOL practitioners will be with me on that road. Continuing the international theme, I thought it was pretty amazing. Here I am, an Englishman living in Japan, graduating from an American university. So I feel very privileged to belong to this international community. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Ian. Now, it's time to get down to business. And the business is the conferring of Temple University degrees earned by our students. We begin with the conferring of degrees to all graduates, followed by the presentation of diplomas by degree. Associate Dean Wu.
Will the candidates for all degrees please rise? Dean Stronach, these candidates have successfully completed all requirements for the degrees for which they stand.
By the authority vested in Temple University by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and with the consent of the university's Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree you have earned with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and duties pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated. We will now present diplomas by degree. All of our graduates today will be introduced by Interim Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Jonathan Wu. We will begin by awarding diplomas to the AA and bachelor degree graduates.
Associates and bachelor's degree graduates, please rise. As I call your names, please come forward to receive your diplomas. I will begin with the Associate of Arts degree students. Yukiko Miyahara. Nana Kimura. Now we will present the diplomas for the bachelor degree students. Joel Rong An Tae, graduating summa cum laude. Yuri Inoue. Shiori Maruyama. Kojiro Ishiguro. Hiroshi Nishida, graduating cum laude. Yoko Hayakawa. Sachina Tsukiyama. Yuki Toda. Keijiro Yamagata. Mehdi Fatimi. Yukari Sugihara. Rory Shane Rutledge Jr. Hirokazu Ishii. Ricardo Sorapu Gomez Piras. Yumiha Yano. Miho Morizumi. Tomoaki Anzai. Kayoko Nomoto, graduating cum laude. Keiko Aoyagi, graduating magna cum laude. Douglas Allen Wilson. Takaaki Ota. Alexander Moore Tice. Douglas Masaru Miller. Nanami Komiyama. Cameron McCormick Cook. Maria Maya Michelle Kunimaru. Paul Henry Franz. Andrew David Smith. Junko Diane Yoshimaru. Richard Matthew Bray. Chamatka Himanchini Udumalagala Gamage. Kayla Elizabeth Kasabak. Fumie Imamura. Darren Ray Harrell. Gina Sunahara. Manadi Osaki. Rimi Das Deb. Ayuko Ichikawa. Eric Anthony Hurlbert. Gabrielle Elizabeth Maud Chelani. Chenusa Emily Yomoa, graduating summa cum laude. Seire Takeda. Angela Michelle Hatfield Gonzalez, graduating cum laude. Alicia Lee Scales. Mai Hasebe. Tiffany Porter. Sarah Crenshaw. Christina Victoria Johnson. Jessica Lynn Foster. Natasha Veek. Alexander Byron Kitchens. Nayo Robert Oliver. Joy Monesteri. Mai Olska. Ayaka Akiyama. Aya Ikuta. Toshikazu Aizawa. Hiram Nathan Wilson. Morgan Elizabeth Whitmer. Anthony Mark Quiggle. Lauren Grace Weidman. Kayla L. Geislinger. Michael Todd Dwyer. Juan Gilberto Velez. Sneha Babaraju. Sho Hamano. Kiichi Kobayashi. Yu Kikuchi. James Mitchell Pleasant. Justin Anthony Davis. Taimur Asim. Lian Xiang. Scott Andrew Fagan. Lorhan Matthews. Rita Wen. Keishi Nukina, graduating cum laude. Fatima Hajura Asad Ali. Pablo Bentenax Gonzalez. Stephanie Noel Jacobs.
I would now like to award diplomas to the Master of Law graduates. Finbar McCarthy, Director of the Law Program, will present the diplomas.
Master of Law graduates, please rise. As I call your names, please come forward to receive your degrees. Asako Shinahara. Michael Mrochek. Ikuko Nadioka. Erika Kawashima.
We will now present diplomas to the Master of Business Administration graduates. Miki Amori, Director of the EMBA program, will present the diplomas.
Master of Business Administration graduates, please rise. As I call your names, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Wilson Steger. Mayumi Alice Kitaoka. Takeshi Achiwa. Thomas Joachim Carvat, receiving the Dean's Award for Excellence. Vensislav Stefanov Stanev. Jonathan James Palmer, receiving the Dean's Award for Excellence. Alexander Visconde Dorupa. Xiang Li. Tatsuhiko Hayashi. Jason M. Sheridan. Keiko Kito. John Katsuyasu Ida. Manuel Valenzuela Villarrubia. Yukadi Adam. Hiroe Sakai. Takayuki Ide, receiving the Dean's Award for Excellence. Dennis Charles Bott.
We will now present diplomas to the Master of Science in Education graduates. David Begler, Academic Coordinator of the Graduate Education Program, will present the diplomas.
Dean Stronach, I'd like to pause just for a moment to salute a group of graduates who have traveled a great distance to be with us today. Will the graduates from TUJ Osaka please stand to be recognized? And now will all the other Master of Science in Education graduates please rise? Jonathan?
Master of Science in Education graduates, please rise. All of you. As I call your names, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Adam Mitchell Dabrowski. Jeffrey Grant Schultz. Harumi Suga. Yumi Chikamori Gomez. Akihiko Ishiyama. Koji Ozaki. Tomoyuki Suda. Tim Clinton Ferraro. Jonathan Russell McCartney. Michiko Tanaka. Yuki Ota. Izumi Sato. Hessa Ahmed Al-Abdulazim, and Mayumi Abe. Satomi Yoshimuta. Kazushi Yoshida. Hirofumi Kukimoto. Kie Yamamoto. Matthew Jonah Rose. Yang Chang. John Robert Wolf. Naoka Yamaguchi. Kasumi Araki. Adalto Viana Giniz Filho. Vivian Andrea Lee. Ako Masuda. Catherine Yasumi Herzishin. Naoko Taniguchi.
We will now present diplomas to the Doctor of Education graduates.
I would like to ask Tomoko Nemoto to come forward to assist in the presentation of degrees. Doctor of Education graduates, please rise.
As I call your names, please come forward to receive your hoods and diplomas. Ian Paul Leeming. Mitsuko Tanaka. Laura Lee Kusaka. Max Praver.
Now we have a couple of more important things to go. The first thing is the really big moment when all graduates, please move your tassel from the right to the left-hand side of your cap. You are now officially graduates. Before closing today's ceremony and going next door and getting something to eat and drink, I would like to exercise my prerogative to say a few words. We have all seen over the past few years a rapidly growing trend in the internationalization and reform of Japanese higher education, and I can say that without a doubt, TUJ has had a role to play in that development. We have guests here today from Japanese universities who are our affiliate universities, Miyagi Daigaku, Musashi Daigaku, Toyo Daigaku, and also Meiji Daigaku Bungakubu. In the future, TUJ will have an even greater role to play as a foreign university, as an American university, in working with Japan to provide quality higher education for all Japanese, American, and students from more than the 50 countries that you graduates represent. If internationalization is the trend of the future, I would say that those of us who are in this room today have attained it today. Finally, I would like to acknowledge two groups of individuals who have supported and guided you, our graduates. First, I would like to recognize a group whose contributions to TUJ are vital, but almost always behind the scenes. The members of the TUJ Board of Overseers who give generously of their time to provide wise counsel to the university and provide a vital link to the community. Will the members of the TUJ Board of Overseers please rise and be recognized? Thank you. I also want to say just one very quick thing. Unfortunately, today will be the last board meeting for two of our board members. One, Mr. Robert Seidel, who has been the CEO of Amex Japan, will be moving on and unfortunately leaving the board. But also I want to say a special note for someone who's not here today. His name is Koji Shimada. He's been a member of the board for many, many years, has been a super supporter of both Temple University. He is a graduate of the main campus College of Education, but also the Japan campus. So Koji was with us, has been with us on the board for, I believe, more than 14 years. Today was his last meeting. He couldn't be here for graduation, but I really want to thank Koji for all the years of his support. Now, I'd also like to take this opportunity to salute and congratulate the family and friends of the graduates who are with us here today. You have supported and encouraged these graduates, in some cases for many years, and have provided them with assistance and advice. In many instances, you have made significant personal sacrifices for them. This day of their accomplishment is also your day. On behalf of the over 38,000 students, 3,400 faculty, and over 300,000 living alumni of Temple University, I thank you for placing your trust in us. This concludes the commencement exercises of Temple University Japan campus for the year 2014. There will be a reception next door in the Taisetsu room immediately following this ceremony, and I invite everyone to join us. Family and friends of the graduates, please remain in your seats until all graduates have left the room. There will be plenty of time for photographs after the ceremony. The 127th commencement exercise at Temple University is officially adjourned. Thank you for coming, and please enjoy the rest of today's celebration.